How you doing, guys? Today I'm working on a Veri-Drive. This Veri-Drive came to me from an individual who asked me to take a look at it and to put it back together. Basically, what had happened initially is the front shive came off. I guess it just came flying off or came apart, and the reason why is the threads for the 1/4 20 set screw are completely blown out, so this front piece just came right off. When I took a look at it, I noticed that somebody put a smaller key into the woodruff key into the slot, and what that has created is a lot of slop in the center section, and you can see that key bouncing around in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get a new thicker key for it, and probably have to file fit it all in there in order to get it to work, so that way we can get the slop out but still have the actuation. For the screw, in talking with the owner, we're just going to board out to 17/64 so I can take a 5/16 tap and tap that for a larger set screw. The rear set screw was loose. I've taken it out, cleaned the threads, but the threads are in good shape. So I'm just going to reinstall the 1/4 20 set screw in there, but just going to put some blue Loctite in there and crank it down. So first up, I am going to set it up and drill that set screw. Okay, I'm sure you're asking, what in the hell is he doing? Because this front shive does not press fit onto the center section for whatever reason, it wants to rotate on the center section. So what I ended up having to do is, I couldn't use my drill press because I couldn't get this contraption of vice grips together. Basically, I took this pair of vice grips right here, I brought it up on the center section so I can get it flush, just barely enough tension just to hold it in place so I don't make any marks on the center section. But then, because the top piece here is pinched in the vise, the bottom isn't. So to keep that from the center section spinning within the outer section, I had to take this pair of vice grips and put that there to keep it all steady, which it did. I took my 17/64 bit. I believe that's what the size is. That's at least what it says on the drill bit. What size does it say on the drill bit? It says drill 17/64, and that's what that drill bit is in my hand drill. And then I just bored the hole accordingly. I started off with a standard tap with the point on it, and that got me going. And then I used a more, I don't want to call this a bottoming tap, but it's more of a bottoming tap style so I can get the threads deeper. If I turn this light on, I think it'd be, probably not, but the threads themselves are really, really nice. It got a lot of nice deep thread, goes down about a good 1/4 inch or so. So we're going to be able to get a really nice 5/16 set screw, and we'll put that right in there, and that's going to lock this whole thing together. I'll clean it up, make sure it's really good and squeaky clean, and we'll put some blue Loctite in there. So the next thing to do is to make the woodruff key. Okay, now that I've been filing away and using the angle grinder to get this 5/16 wide woodruff key to be just a little bit bigger than 3/16 because the original slot is kind of blown out. I used obviously the file. I used my angle grinder to get it to about the width that I wanted, because it's obviously, you know, longer in length. I made these little notches using the file basically in order for it to start to fit into the slot better. Now there is still some wobble, but once we get it down onto the shoulders that I've made, that'll definitely tighten up. I'm going to continue working on this to get this into the nice position where it doesn't move much, and then I'll start filing the top of it off so it'll fit into the center shive. Okay, so after some more work, I leveled it. You know, the shoulders are all finished. The bottom is all done. I am going to peen it a little bit because I am going to red Loctite it into position. But basically, there you go. There it is, pretty nice. All nice. Once you peen it, it doesn't slop around anymore, so I'll do that. And then we put the shive on, and the shive slides on so nice. I mean, that's moves so nice, and there's just a little bit of wiggle in it, but that's really from the wear that is in the shive itself. So I'm right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peen it, red Loctite the key into place, and then put it back together, and it should be all set. All right, I'll be right back. And there we go. The Veri-Drive is all back together. The 5/16 set screw that we drilled and tapped is in. It's nice and flush, so it will work. As you can tell, the center shive works real nice. There's a little bit of play, but that should actuate perfectly. I did put a new set screw in there. I blue Loctite the set screw here, and I blue Loctite the front set screw. Obviously, I red Loctite the key in, but I think this, there you go. It's good for a driver. You know, if you were going to mow the lawn every single weekend from now until eternity, this thing probably should be all blown apart again. A new slot cut for the Woodruff key in the center, as well as probably this being tightened up just a hair. But oh, and then this I would definitely knurl the center section, so when you push this front piece on, it actually needs to be pressed on, like most of them that I've seen. This one here just slides on and off real easy, but I would knurl it. Now you ask, why did I do it this way and not? This is not my Veri-Drive. I did this for an individual who asked me to. So as I've said before, I'm not a machinist. I work an office job, so I'm not like super perfect on everything. And this being such a critical part to the tractor, in other words, the RJ35 is basically useless without one of these. I didn't want to go hog crazy with it and start remachining everything unless I have actual written consent from an individual that says, look, if you fuck it up, I don't care. And that's not the case with this. I didn't even ask. But so I did it to the specifications that I do in order to just make a driver. I think it's more than acceptable. It's going to work perfect based on what I see here in my experiences, but that's the reason why I didn't machine this one. This is not mine. Alright guys, so as you can see, I take care of people's stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you found it interesting, and we will see you shortly.